Hello guys, today I want to put you on the self-growth book that actually works, is worthy of your time reading it, and is intensely packed with value. Because if you're someone like me who's just tired from all the same generic, like copycat, pretty obvious self-growth advice that we currently see in the self-growth literature and media, you will absolutely love the new Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. And the reason why I personally love this book is because it's no generic, no BS type of advice. It actually gives you the exact blueprint of what you need to do in order to rewrite your mind for success, to finally start achieving all of those small and grand, specifically grand goals, that you will become obsessed with the success because you will be filling your bank of achievements so fast, and you will literally become a new person for whom success is much more normal than failure or not achieving their goal. You literally forget about it, and each page of its book is literally packed with the day-to-day life advice that you can implement into your routines to finally see results from those practices. And I want to share the main lessons I learned from the new Psycho-Cybernetics with you in order to potentially inspire you to read one of the best books that you can find in 2025. One of the reasons why I love Psycho-Cybernetics is its author, and Maxwell Maltz deserves a separate introduction. So Maxwell Maltz is not some kind of the old age self-growth guru or whatsoever. Maxwell Maltz was actually a talented surgeon in the 90s, 50s in the US, and he grew really interested in the effects that those plastic surgeries he was performing had on his patients, because a lot of people who were coming to him in order to get the plastic surgery had one flaw visible for everyone, or visible only for those people who were coming to get this help, that these people were given so much of an impact on their life, and they thought that once they correct it, the whole world will be right at their knees. They will achieve success, make more money, yada, yada, yada. And what is the most interesting is that some of the patients actually, after receiving the treatment, were achieving mind-blowing success. They were becoming millionaires, the best salespeople. They were getting finally success in their relationship. But some of the patients actually not only did not achieve success, but started living even more miserable life than they were before the surgery. And this is what made Maxwell Maltz really curious. What is the deal there? And once he was studying all those cases more and more precisely, he understood that looks don't matter there. It's much of a bigger issue. This is how he came up with the idea of self-concept. And self-concept is not entirely new to you if you are at least a little bit into the manifestation or self-growth communities. So self-concept is what you internally think about yourself. This is the story that you tell yourself on a day-to-day basis. So think about your brain as a laptop, and your self-concept is the software that runs it. So if the software is filled with self-pity, with loser mindset, with overall dissatisfaction with your life, different negative programs, your life will be a total mess. By the way, on my other channel related to manifestation, I have the whole video dedicated entirely to self-concept, so you can go and watch it right there. But overall, when we are talking about self-concept, I will introduce it to you from a little bit of a different angle. So tell me, what is the same between kids who think that they are bad at math and they literally cannot understand and comprehend it, between the sportsmen and athletes that cannot just win any major tournaments but are perfect on the really small scale ones? between people who constantly suffer from cheating in the relationship and just simply choosing all the wrong partners for themselves, and the salesperson who just cannot find the proper words in order to persuade the client to make a sale. All of them have horrible self concept. And what Maxwell Maltz proves is that no matter which area you are thinking about, your self concept actually decides the way how successful you will be in it or not, because your brain doesn't understand that this program that runs it is negative, not beneficial for you, and you're actually suffering because of it. It takes all of your words as true. And what Maxwell Maltz noticed is that once you rewrite this self concept, you actually become a whole new person and you can achieve success in something that was absolutely unbelievable for you before. And here is how. So one of the things which is the most important in the Psycho-Cybernetic book is the mental training or mental repetition. So once you are making your flaws conscious to you, and how you do this, so you actually write your story that you have about yourself in each and every area of your life that you want to improve. So let's say for the kid who is really bad at math, his story will be like, I don't understand math, this is such a complicated thing to me, this is such a complicated subject, I just never seem to figure it out or even understand what people are explaining to me. This is the story that you have. So once you make it conscious, you can actually correct it. And here's how your brain works. So no matter what you say to it, it takes it as true. So when you say, I just cannot comprehend this subject no matter what I do, your brain will not even be looking for the ways to actually try even try to understand this. And what was proven is when kids who were starting to rewrite this self-concept and to tell themselves that they can actually understand math or chemistry or physics or whatever else subject, they were improving so severely fast that not only they were becoming the first grade best students in class in this subject from the complete outsiders, they were actually winning the country level competitions, and before they were absolutely dumb in it. Also, when we are talking about the mental repetition and actually rewiring your brain, what it does, it actually creates the new neural pathways for your brain in order to get used to the idea that you can actually achieve success in this specific area. So how it's used, you come up with the new story about yourself, aka you are great at math or you are a great salesperson. You come up with the short clip of this activity that you are doing that is signaling success to you, and you are starting to repeat it again and again and again in your brain. This is how the popular athletes are actually training. Not only they do their exercises to prepare to the competition, but they are also mentally training. So they are going through each of the obstacle on their path mentally. They are training mentally. They are training their punches. They are training their jumps in order to prepare their body in order to complete this winning jump or winning thing. And this is also proven that when you imagine something, especially this was studied among different athletes or people who were exercising, that when you imagine to yourself that you are doing something like lifting weights or whatsoever, you can actually experience the same muscle growth as you would experience as you would were actually training. But this is not only working when it comes to the training or learning math. This method of the mental repetition is also widely used by the public speakers. So if you're a public speaker and you are literally terrified of coming out in front of the audience and talking about whatever it is, what you can do is to actually start imagining to yourself, mentally training and repeating your whole speech in front of the client, in front of an audience, and getting all these ovations and all this applause, you will face just the same result of your actual speech as you received in your brain. And this is not something that you need to learn how to do. You're actually doing this every single day. Just the problem with our brain is that mostly we use it in a very, very negative perspective. And this is also something that psycho-cybernetics will help you to deal with. But you can tell me, how can I come up with any idea of success in my head? How can I start rewiring my brain for it if I've never experienced success and the idea of failure is much more usual to me? Like, this will be so complicated, it makes zero sense. And I will tell you that this is just another way how your negative self-concept expresses itself, and it's called the negative self-reflection. So during our childhood and early years, we were so shamed and punished for any mistakes that we do that our brain learned one thing: we need to prevent mistakes by any cost. Like, mistakes are not possible for us. And whenever you were trying something new and obviously making mistakes in it, or were just simply not achieving your goal, your brain made it mean something about yourself. Not that, oh, you just didn't achieve your goal at that moment of time, but it made it mean that you're undisciplined, you are dumb, you just will never achieve success, you cannot get it whatsoever. You name it, what kind of the subject you called yourself during this. And your brain actually protects you from getting hurt in that way. So, well, positive, you are protected. Negative, well, you are afraid of achieving any goal. You are afraid of even trying, because if you fail again, this will reinforce this belief that you are a loser. And this is why most people just try something once, they fail, and they never come back to it again. But here is how you can actually repair this broken neural connection and create a more stable, beneficial one for yourself. So first of all, I want you to understand that you are not defective. There is nothing wrong with you for making a mistake or for not achieving your goal. And I want you to think about Thomas Edison, so the person who actually made our light bulb work. Do you remember how many tries it took Thomas Edison to actually make the bulb work? Between 10 and 13,000? And can you imagine doing something for 10,000 times and failing each and every time? And Thomas Edison didn't seem to really care about it, but people around him actually did, and they were asking him, aren't you demotivated? Maybe you just need to stop doing it and start doing something else. Like, maybe this is just not for you, you know? And what he was saying is that this bulb will anyway work. I just found another way how to not achieve this goal. And what you need to do next is, when you fail with anything, or even when you analyze again your previous failures, you need to cancel that it means anything negative about you. It doesn't mean that you are defective. It doesn't mean that you are bad, dumb, or just you will never be able to educate yourself enough, or you're unprofessional. You just found another way how to not achieve this whatever goal that it is. And the next thing, second one, is that you need to rewire your brain to actually be more focused on your achievements rather than on your failures, because each and every person of us has achievements, has achieved success at one point or another. Just again, due to how we were programmed to behave throughout our childhood, we are used to focusing more on our negative experiences rather than on the positive once. So what I want you to do is to write down at least 10 of your achievements in the specific area that you want to improve and read them daily. And every time the negative idea, negative scenario, memory of your failure comes up to you, you need to imagine the giant eraser and just erase it from your memory. This is how you rewire your brain. You experience whatever you say to your brain. Whatever you say goes. Repetition rewires your brain. You were wiring yourself first for failure. Now you do the same with success. And when you write down all these achievements, I want you not just write them down, but to experience them from your memory again and erase all the negative memories that you have about failure. The last but not the least, Maxwell Maltz pays really a lot of attention to the nervous system regulation in his books. And as a doctor, he actually says that brain is rewiring at its best when relaxed. When you relax your brain and deal with the anxiety and stress and put it away, you actually release the creative resources of the brain and the body. You release the self-healing resources of the body, and this is also having an anti-aging effect on you. So when and look, if you look every time when your phone rings like a deer caught in the light, it's not cool. Like, being so stressed, being in such high alert mode is not cool. So one of the exercises that Maxwell Maltz suggests is to actually come up with the vacation room that you can go to anytime in your mind. You literally come up with the room or space that represents the absolute relaxation for you, with no bright colors, with nothing that can distract you, with nothing literally that can provoke the stress again. And you spend about 30 minutes, like 20 to 30 minutes per day in this room to just put the switch down from stress to actually the relaxed mode. All the best ideas, all the best achievements come to people when they are relaxed, not when they are nearly dying from actually overworking themselves and burning out. So if you want to learn more about nervous system regulation as well, there is a whole giant section of it in the New Psycho-Cybernetics. You need to get yourself familiar with it. And for dessert, I want to actually give you a little 5-minute tip that you can use every day in order to reprogram yourself best for the success. This little tip is called daily revision. And again, if you're into the manifestation space, does it remind you of something? And can you imagine that this book is actually not by any manifestation coach whatsoever, and there's so many overlaps between it. So how does revision work? You, every time before your bed, when you go to sleep, you lay down and you revise your whole day. So you keep to yourself only your success, and all the failures, all the stressful situations whatsoever, you erase with the giant eraser. And this way, your brain remembers only best positive scenarios for you. It literally rewires itself every night in order to match your new personality. And you literally reprogram yourself. As you programmed yourself for failure all the time, thinking about every ways to experience shame and guilt again before sleep, when you experience this success of yours, you actually wake up the whole new person on the molecular and personal level. I hope that this video was useful for you guys, and let me know if you are going to read the new Psycho-Cybernetics anytime soon, and if you want to see more videos like this with the book recommendations from me, I'll be happy to provide it for you. Now I wish you a great week, and I'll see you soon in my next videos.